Right, I'm just going to have a quick look at a quick sort of comparison of what you can expect the differences to be between the Delta Wolf at the bottom and the Red Wolf Midnight at the top. Now, both of these, as everyone will know, are day-state air rifles, both fully electronic firing systems and electronic triggers. Both available in FAC and in sub 12, and what I'm going to say here applies only to sub 12s because both of these are sub 12. So apart from the obvious aesthetics differences between them, and they couldn't be more different if they tried, the Red Wolf is classically styled, I suppose, sporter, and the Delta is your probably the ultimate in sort of tactical style rifles. So apart from that, what are the differences, considering that they're both electronic triggers, electronic actions? What differentiates them apart from their looks? So the first thing that anyone will notice upon firing these rifles is the fact that the Red Wolf is unquestionably the quieter of the two. I don't think I've ever had a rifle quite as quiet as the Red Wolf. Now, the Delta Wolf is quiet, make no mistake about it. The Delta Wolf is a very, very quiet rifle. There's no spring boing. There's a slight noise from the solenoid as it activates the valve, but there's no boing or resonance noise that you get on a lot of bullpups, because don't forget that action's right by your ear, so it's magnified. And it is a quiet rifle, but it has to be said that the Red Wolf is scarily quiet. With this A&M Custom Gunsmiths carbon fibre silencer on it, it is scarily quiet, almost makes no noise at all. There's a tiny little and that's about it. And both these rifles are shooting about the same muzzle energy. They're both shooting about 11.5 foot-pounds. And I think the reason for that is that the Delta Wolf has a chronograph in the end of the barrel shroud, and I think that because the chronograph takes up space in the shroud, even though it's got a thicker shroud, it's got a shorter shroud, and it also has the chronograph that takes up a little bit of space in there, and I think that's why it is marginally more noticeable on discharge than the Red Wolf. And you will notice the difference, and I think several other people on various forums and whatnot have noticed the same thing. They're both very quiet, but the Red Wolf is noticeably quieter than the Delta Wolf. The Delta Wolf's by no means noisy, but it's noisier than the Red Wolf, which is scarily quiet. Now the triggers, without adjusting them, and I think if I'm right in saying that they're both basically the same electronic trigger unit, but from the factory, I've not adjusted either of these triggers. I've left them be because they're both superb. But I think it's fairly safe to say as well that from the factory, the Red Wolf has by far the lighter let-off than the Delta Wolf. Now, it might just be my example, but I have heard other people have said that the Delta Wolf, upon delivery, wasn't set as light as the Red Wolf. The Red Wolf, if anything, is set a little bit too light. It is a featherweight little crisp trigger, whereas the Delta Wolf's a bit more of set to a more friendly let-off. Now, it can be lowered to be exactly the same, but I actually prefer where the Delta Wolf's set for, especially for hunting. It's set just right for hunting. It is light, but it's not scary light, whereas the Red Wolf is a little bit too light for my personal tastes. So there's that. And then the other thing you'll find is that the Red Wolf is a long rifle. There's no getting away from it. It is a longer rifle, especially with the silencer on. The little Delta Wolf is remarkably compact. It really is a really compact little thing. It's a fantastic little gun. The weight is about the same. If anything, the Red Wolf perhaps weighs a tiny bit more, but almost nothing. They pretty much feel like they weigh the same. The balance is fantastic on the Delta Wolf, it really is. And on the Red Wolf that I've got here with the highlight bottle, I find the balance superb. I wasn't that keen on the balance on the Red Wolf, the first one that I had the steel bottle on. But this one with the carbon fibre bottle on is a beautifully balanced rifle. It really is. Side levers, the actual actions, cocking the things is exactly the same. They're so light, so easy to cock. You can rattle off loads of shots from them so easily. They both use Daystate's new self-indexing magazine, though they are of a slightly different design on the back because the Delta Wolf loads in through the action, whereas the Red Wolf sits in the top. Adjustability, straight out the box, the Red Wolf is probably more adjustable because it's got an adjustable cheek piece and an adjustable butt pad already available, whereas the Delta Wolf does have an adjustable cheek piece and an adjustable butt pad, but they are extra accessories provided by PRS. The Delta Wolf comes with a short Picatinny rail in the front. I've got the PRS extended rail on it. The Delta Wolf, however, the Red Wolf, however, comes with no immediately simple means of attaching a bipod to. So it means that you either have to screw a small strip of Picatinny into the bottom of the stock, being very careful to use very short screws because there's not a huge amount of wood there, or you use one of those Dr. Bob style cylinder clamps, which I think is decidedly unelegant. So personally, I'm not going to do anything to the Red Wolf. I'm going to leave it as is and use it as a rifle that's shot offhand or off a bag. Either a small, tiny portable bag that I'll take with me out into the field so I can rest it on gates, fences or tree stumps, or when I'm at the range, I'll shoot it off proper range bags. The Delta Wolf, on the other hand, is far more adaptable because it already comes with an inbuilt Picatinny rail. And like I say, you can get this custom built, purposely designed PRS rail, which is Arca with a section of Picatinny at the end, and that means that you can fit this rifle very easily onto any bipod, and it also fits Arca type bipods and, better still, Arca tripods, which makes it for a very, very stable setup indeed. Both these guns are, in short, phenomenal. They really are. Really, we're looking at the top end of air gunning here. The Delta Wolf also, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, it's got a chronograph on board. It's got touchscreen display. I'll just flick it over and show you. Delta Wolf has a touchscreen display, whereas the Red Wolf has the smaller screen. Delta Wolf, you can turn it to red as well for night usage. And to be honest, I always leave it on the red settings anyway, as I think it's much nicer. I'll just show you what I mean. There you go. So you can see it's on like a reddy colour for night use, and I think that looks really good. On the Red Wolf, it's just black on the white screen. You can turn the rear illumination off, but there is no night mode on the Red Wolf. So those are the basic differences between the two, and I'm sure you'll agree that these are two fine rifles. Now, I've already been asked by people which one would I choose if I had to pick only one. Would I go with the Delta Wolf or would I go with the Red Wolf? I don't know. is the short answer to that question. I really don't know which one I'd pick. Probably all things considered, I would go for the Delta Wolf, but only because it is so flexible in what you can do with it. You know, you can get it to easily fit on a tripod. It easily mounts on a bipod. Fitting any site you want is an absolute doddle because of this sliding rail. It slides right the way back or right the way forward. So finding any sort of eye relief for any sighting system you want is so easy on the Delta Wolf. Whereas the Red Wolf, because the magazine sticks proud of the action slightly, it does slightly make fitting various sighting systems a little bit more problematic. And I also like the fact that obviously you can put your lamps and anything on the side of this as well, whereas the Delta Wolf, the Red Wolf, doesn't have that capability. I have to say though that I have fallen mightily in love with the Red Wolf. It is such a quiet rifle. It is pinpoint accurate, as is the Delta Wolf. But it just looks, it's just a stunning rifle. It really is stunning. You really do. You have to see one in the flesh to appreciate how visually stunning this rifle is. It's a thing of utter beauty. And it's just so nicely put together. Everything's really well put together. It looks good. It feels great in the hand. And like I say, it's pinpoint laser accurate. Super gun. Really is a super gun. In every sense of the word, that is a super gun. I mean, it is just absolutely stunning. It really is beautiful. And the Delta Wolf is a phenomenal work gun. It really is. You can alter it in so many ways. So many different options available for this thing. At the minute I've got it set up for night hunting. I'll put my lamp on here later on tonight when I go out. I've took my PRS stock and put the original stock back on. I've refitted the rail though, because I'm going to take my tripod tonight as well. And I've fitted it with this rubberized, it's by the same company, Fab Defense, but it's rubberized instead of the more plastic one. It's not got as many finger grooves as the other one. It's got a slightly different grip style, but I like this one. I think this is a nicer, in the hand this feels good. And that's the other thing with this, because it's sort of AR-15 based, so many of those accessories are available for that gun will fit on this thing. You can mess with this to your heart's content. You know, there's so much you can do to it. You know, different rails for the bottom, different fits. You put anything you want on the bottom of it. It's got room for lights, lasers, range finders, the whole lot. You can get more field target orientated butt pads for it. This has got a raisable cheek piece on it as well. It's just got so much more, I don't know, customization potential. You know, you can put any grip you want on here, Hogues, anything you like, even wooden ones, any M16 AR-15 type pistol grip will fit on it. It's just got so much customization that you can do with it. Whereas the Red Wolf pretty much is really probably best left alone as it is, because it pretty much is what it is. It's a beautiful sporting rifle. So there you go, some of the differences between the two and some of the similarities between the two. They're both fantastic. They're both equally as accurate. Having shot both, I would say, certainly with me shooting them, out to 55, even 60 yards, They both seem to be equally as accurate. They're both equally as slick to flick through a magazine's worth of pellets. The triggers are equally as good. It's just that the Red Wolf is quieter and the Delta Wolf offers far more adaptability. So I think really you pays your money and you takes your choice between the two, really. But what a pair of absolutely fantastic rifles. They really are. Daystate's been great. You know, a British company producing guns that are right out there at the cutting edge. You know, people knock and say, oh, well, this, that, and the rest of it. Well, you've got to remember, though, that these aren't reworked editions of something of an earlier version. You know, that you frequently see different manufacturers will release a supposedly new rifle. All they've done is put a different stock on it. Other than that, there's no difference at all. Or they might have changed from a bolt to a side lever. Or they might have even not even done that. They might have just changed the shape of the side lever and rebranded it as a different rifle. Or changed from a cylinder to a bottle. But the basic gun will be exactly the same as the one that came before it, and probably the one that came before that as well. So they're not exactly being particularly innovative. Blimey. I have to get these new teeth sorted out. Innovative. There you go. Whereas these rifles, you know, Daystate is trying to do something totally different. They're pushing right out there, especially with the Delta Wolf, with all the different bits and pieces on that. I mean, it's a pretty spectacularly complex rifle when you look at it. So there you go. Fantastic rifles. British made, British company, and just brilliant. 3-year guarantee with them as well. So you haven't, you know, people worried about electronic rifles. You've got a 3-year guarantee. Anything wrong with it, send it back. Simple as that. No need to panic. You're not sending it to a foreign country. You're not sending it to a manufacturer that's been around for a couple of months. You know, Daystate have been with us a long time. So I think they're fairly safe bets. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.